Hi there, welcome to the Books Are Us. Today I am making a video that I am not in the habit of making. It is a bullet journal video and I'm setting up my bullet journal for the upcoming year. So because I'm not used to doing this type of video, I want to apologize for any issues with the lighting, shadows that you might see, and other errors that I am making in this video. Please bear with me on this one. I'll start off by showing you some of the materials that I'm using. Of course, there is the notebook itself. It is an Archer and Olive notebook bullet journal in a size B5. I love this size. I've been using it for several years now. Then I am going to use a stencil to do some of the lettering in here. I have some beautiful paper to use with pictures of gardens. I am going for this garden, outdoorsy, Asian sort of theme, and my main colors will be green and pink. Then I have some stickers. I had the little chibi girls. I had some stickers of flowers and bees, some plants but in like a painting style, some quotes, some labels to use. Then I had a lot of washi tape with bubbles, scenery, some gold, some with lemons, leaves, pond with water lilies, and all types of things. Maybe I should reference where I got these from. Some of these washis are from the washi shop, some are from Notebook Therapy, some from Thousand Skies, and some are from Nikki Smith's. Furthermore, I am using some midliners, namely in that pink and green color that I was talking about. I am also using a gold pen from Faber-Castell. I am also using my black pen that I'm always using. It's the Paper Mate Flexi Grip Ultra 1mm pen. I have a whole box of these, and furthermore I'll be using some other stuff like a ruler, sticky tape, scissors, and anything like that. Now, as you can see, I have started off with the first page. This is always like the introduction page where you put down your name, and I decorated it a little bit more. Then I move on to the first pages. First we have an awkward page because it is this totally blank page without any bullets on it. So I tend to decorate that one as well, and I put down the year. As you can see, I am starting in September, so this bullet journal will run me through September 2025 up until August 2026. Now I have a specific reason for doing this, because you might be wondering why I don't just start in January like every other normal person that is making a bullet journal. Well, I start in September because I'm a teacher and my school year starts in September, and for me it makes more sense to have a whole year in one bullet journal and start at the beginning of the school year, because during the school year we build up this whole system. We work with our students, you work through all these materials with them, and they are planned out from the beginning of September till the end of June. So that's why I'm doing that, and then I include July and August because they are my summer holidays, and well, it's nice to have them at the end. Always something to look forward to, right? Alright, now next to this decorative page I will make a page which I call Next Year. On this page I write down any dates, any upcoming events that will happen after August 2026 that I am already aware of. I am putting them down here so I won't forget about them, and it's easier for me if this page is just very much at the beginning of the book, so I do not have to look it up that much. While you are seeing me set, I want to apologize. I am sorry if I make a lot of errors. I want to do this voiceover and it's very difficult to cut this. I am not used to doing these voiceovers as well, so you will hear a lot of misspeaks, a lot of mishaps in here. So once again, give me the benefit of the doubt. So here you see me setting up that next year page. Maybe I should talk to you about when I started bullet journaling. Actually, I started in 2017, at the end of 2017 in October. And the reason I started was actually that I wanted to quit smoking. And this sounds really strange as a reason to start up a bullet journal. But I was looking for something that would occupy me, that would take up some time, plus something that would actually motivate me to not smoke anymore. And that is what bullet journaling actually really did for me. It did help me out. I was able to set up like a tracker to help me to quit smoking, to give myself some incentives, like after 7 days of not smoking, I could give myself a reward and things like that. And on the other hand, I was able to look up all these pages that people were making in their bullet journals, and I was able to try them out, especially then because it was at the end of 2017. So I could just try things out a bit before I started my real full bullet journal for 2018. Back then I still started in January, so that is different from now. Back to what I am doing on the screen. I am setting up my calendar. Now, during the years, I found that it is easier for me to not set up the calendar exactly by month. To set this up a bit more quickly, I work with a 4-week system. So what I am doing here is drawing out 4 weeks on each spread. And this gives me the opportunity to write down specific dates and upcoming events and things that should be happening on a certain date very easily. I have a lot of room to write all these things down. And this also means that I need to make 13 of these spreads, not 12. And that's what I'm speeding up here, repeating the same thing 13 times over. The other thing that I will be doing here is adding a list for each of these 4-week periods. This list is to write things down that I have to do in that time period, which is things that are not specifically related to a certain date, but that have to be done around that time period or somewhere in that monthly time frame. Like, for example, to have a nice example, during the Christmas holidays, things like writing Christmas cards. So I'm definitely on time sending those. You see me setting up one of these here. I put down a label to write down the month, or sometimes 2 months if this 4-week period is a bit of an overlap between 2 months. I am decorating, and then you will see me make this little list by using my markers to make clear where different subjects can go. And then you will see me repeat that same thing 12 more times. What else can I talk about? Oh yeah, when I started YouTube, as I said, when I started bullet journaling, I should say, I had a lot of inspiration on YouTube. The main channels that I was watching were, of course, Amanda Rach Lee. I also watched Plant-Based Bride for inspiration, and then there was Jessie Corin, which I absolutely loved. She is very good at giving you clear instructions and showing you different things that you can do. And throughout those years, I have been able to sort out what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And that is why it is quite easy for me now to set up these journals, because I really know what I will be using and what I won't be using. So I don't have a lot of wasted pages anymore, because these notebooks tend to get a bit expensive. So as I said before, for this one I am using an Archer and Olive notebook. But lately, most of the journals that I've been buying are from Notebook Therapy, because they are a little cheaper, not much, but they are cheaper. But the shipping is definitely less, which helps in your bank account. So yeah. Okay, now after these calendars, which are speeded up here once again, the next thing that I'm setting up is, let me have a look, is a combined page. On this page I have the title Weekly. Now this the segment Weekly will include certain things that have to be done each week. I will not be filling out these things on here, because some of them are like very obvious things that should be cleaned or stuff like that. I'm not ashamed or anything to put those down. But there are different things in there that should happen every week that might be considered a little more personal. So that's why I'm not writing out the list on screen. And then the other part of the page will be my ideas page. Now, ideas can vary. This just means that I can jot down anything that comes into my head. Things like, oh, I would like to watch this movie again. Or if I have crazier thoughts like, hey, I want to wallpaper the hallway, or something like that. I can write them down, and they are right after my calendar, so I will spot them when I check my weekly checklist, because my weekly checklist I use every week when I make my weekly spread, so I can note down everything that should happen in that week. But it means that I also look at my ideas page quite often, so I don't forget the things that I wanted to do or wanted to check out. After this page will be my waiting on list. Now, the waiting on list was introduced to my bullet journal because I tend to order a lot of stuff. Things for myself, like, for example, bullet journals or stickers or things like that. But also for my family, things for my daughter. And sometimes it can get confusing to remember if you have ordered something or not, or or to remember how many things that you have ordered or you are still waiting on. And that is what waiting on list is specifically for. So I write down either the shop or the item that I bought, then the date on which I ordered something, then the date on which it supposedly shipped, and then also the date when it arrived, to check that it has arrived. And this way I can spot when something is still missing. If I am supposed to have gotten something and it hasn't arrived yet, I can contact the shop and I won't forget about it, right? Moving on, it's not visible on the screen yet, but it will be soon. I make 2 pages. One is for me, it's called School. And here I can write down specific things that I have to remember, more general things. For example, to me that means that I will get information at the beginning of September as to which of my students are on the ASS spectrum, for example, or which of my students suffer from dyslexia or things like that. And I write them down, so I will definitely remember, because I will give them specific aid during the year. and other things, longer schedules, for example, of when we have meetings and things that have to be discussed in these meetings, or certain time frames that will not easily fit in my yearly calendar. And then the page next to that is called, you will see, Eliza, because my daughter is called Eliza, and this one is to write down anything specific for her, especially things about school that I should remember, or themes that I have discussed in school, and suggestions that the school has made of things that we can do at home to help her practice, or anything that might help or that I would otherwise forget. Alright, now it will take a while to get to those pages. Maybe in between I can still ask you if there is any interest maybe in seeing my previous journals, or to see me set up any weekly layouts in this journal. I'm not sure if this is something that there would be an interest in. The people who are on my channel already know that I actually talk about books and I focus on books. I also have a book journal which I might be showing off a bit more often now that I am taking this step of showing you some of my journaling. But if there is any interest, please let me know in the comments. That would be nice to hear. Alright, I'm going to let you listen for a bit. Or look for a bit while I set up these pages that I've already talked about, and I'll be back when the new pages start. Alright, here I'm going to set up some pages that are related to my health or physical activity or anything like that. First off, I'm making a spread that is about weight. It is a little bit about weight loss for me personally, but it's not something that I want to be promoting, so it's mainly about being informed about your weight for health reasons, of course. And the page after that is my period tracker. I work with a system where I write down each date up until my period starts up again, and then I start at the bottom again. And this way I can count how many days my period lasts. I also usually work with a color code system to track the flow. And next to that one, I have a diet tracker and a sports tracker. They are based on the old year in pixels system, but I changed them up a bit, so I have each week in a horizontal row, and I have each week underneath each other, so I can see if there is a tendency to not diet on Mondays, for example, or if I have whole blocks of time when I am not dieting or am dieting, so I can keep myself a little more accountable. Moving on to the next couple of spreads. These are finance related. First, I'm making this spread in which I can write down the money that was spent each month on certain how do you say this in English? On certain things that money should be spent on, I suppose. So in the left column, there will be things like the how do you call it? The mortgage, or things like food, and all that. But once again, I'm not writing all of these down because it seemed a bit personal. And then at the top, I am writing down the months or the first letters of each month. So for me, it is easy to see what month we are talking about. And then at the end of my year, my school year, I can calculate the average of money spent on each item during the year, and I can also see what total was spent in each month, as to see if certain months are a lot more expensive than others and things like that. Things that you can beware of for next year, of course. I've been doing this for a couple of years, and I have to say that it is really good to have a system to track your finances. It really helps you out and be prepared, as I said, for upcoming expenses. Now, because each month I have to write down how much everything costed in total, I need some space to calculate everything. So that was what these next few pages were about. It gives me a little space for each month to write down, for example, food, and then behind food I can note down like I paid this much, and then I paid this much and this much, and I can just add it up to put in that pretty grid that I made. Alright, after those financial pages, I start with some pages, and those are the last few pages that have to do with my channel. So as you can see, I'm called Books Are Us, and first I make this grid for my videos, in which I can put the release dates, dates I would like to release a certain video. Then I can write down the content of that video that I want to make. And then I have check boxes. If the video is filmed, if it is edited, if the thumbnail's made, if it is uploaded to YouTube. And finally, if I made like an Instagram post about it to, well, give it a bit of fame, hopefully. And then the page or the spread behind that was just giving me some room to write down any ideas I have about my channel and anything that I would like to do, and give myself some room. By now the final flip through has started. It feels kind of strange to say that. I've seen so many people do this in bullet journal videos on YouTube. So this is my final flip through. I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, I'm sorry about the lighting. Oh God, I'm sorry about the lighting. I am sorry about my pronunciation. I do hope you got something out of this. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a like. If you want to subscribe to my channel, it would mean a lot to me, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye!